Well, Black got he got his tea ready. So
Green tea, baby.
green tea,
Drink it all day.
toxifying.
Just saying, what you rolling with? You tightening up for the winter?
No, just regular green tea. I was telling Puma earlier, man. The Tequila has to screw my picks up, so I can't do that right now. Once the show is over, the tequila bottle cop's over. But right now, no, I'm picking, baby.
Hey, look, it's all lit up over there too.
Yes, sir. Got to change the atmosphere. It ain't working. We only got like 4 more weeks. I'll be damned if I'm finished behind Puma.
Welcome to the NFL Picks Week 13. This is the Goon Squad. You got Black Thor over there. You got Ice Water over there. Yours truly, Puma. And we had an interesting week last week in the picks. And also, we already started off with a win with the Pittsburgh Steelers winning over Baltimore today in an odd game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. Most people missed it because they didn't even know it was on. But anyway, last week, I went 13-2. Ice and Pop tied for 10-5, and Black had a 9-6 record. Overall totals, Pop is still holding on to a 1-game lead with 114 wins, 61 losses, 1 tie, followed by Ice with 113, 62 losses, and 1 tie. And I'm right behind Ice with 112, 63, and 1 loss. And Black took a nosedive a little bit, 4 games back of me. With 108, 67, and a tie. I'm going to go to Ice first. I'm going to let Black talk about it later because he had a grievance with the commissioner of the picks. And if you looked at Monday night show, he still has a grievance in. He's a union man, so he's going to keep that grievance up until he gets his just due. But anyway, Ice, give me your eye test on the picks last week.
Yeah, it was a little crazy, a little bit off the chain, especially the Raiders. I mean, I promise you, I just did not see that coming at all. It's like they laid down. Really was surprised by that. New England, New England over Arizona. It's like 1 week Arizona's up, and oh yeah, we're talking about the little dude, and he rises up to the occasion, and then they let you down. And I think it's just growing pains for them. So that was surprising. And last but not least, my heart said something, but my head said something differently. Just the way that Tennessee just bulldozed Indianapolis. That was a straight grown man whooping. Whooping, as they say. Not whooping with a W or W-H-U. But it was just really crazy, and they were so strong. If they continue that type of approach during the rest of the year and into the playoffs, it'll be very difficult to beat. So, yeah.
All right, Black, we'll give you the floor, Brother Raccoon. What was your eye test from last week?
Well, I will start my grievance, man. I can't believe the quality of this show, knowing that I picked the game, knowing that there was going to be a quarterback, Drew Lock, playing for the Denver Broncos. He couldn't play. And these two gentlemen right here would not allow me to change their pick, knowing that a receiver was going to play quarterback for the Broncos. You think that it said, Black, guess what? When you made your pick, they had 3 quarterbacks playing. Now they have no quarterback. So I took the loss. I'm gonna pull my grievance because we got some games to go and I'll move forward. I would jump on the fact of the Colts, man. I got duped into picking the Colts because I figured they had Tennessee numbers the first time. But as I said Monday night, man, Tennessee came out with an old-fashioned ass kicking that game, bro. And I just I haven't seen in a long time where a team takes your will that early and never give it back to you throughout the course of the game, man. They took the Colts' will, and it was like, we're going to show you're a boy playing against a group of men tonight or today, and that's what they did. Minnesota, that's the game that I picked. I forgot the team that beat them, but the field goal kicker, lose it at the end. I had that one. That was close. I think it was Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I had that one. Yeah, Carolina. And it's the last second. And a lot of my games are lost this year. It's been like one loss, like a field goal, 3 points, and that's what really kills it. But it's been exciting at the same time. A game that really kind of surprised me, I didn't get a chance to watch this game, and 30 million people did. The Washington football team against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know what happened, but you couldn't tell me Washington's going to go down there and put 40 points up on the Cowboys, bro. There's no way on Thanksgiving Day, and I'm not trying to pick on the Cowboys, but what are they playing for? On Thanksgiving Day, you got 30 some odd million people watching you, and you're at home. You're not energized enough to play harder, play stronger? To me, that says a lot, bro. And I know you said on Monday night, should that coach be up for it to be fired? I believe so, man. I'm sorry, because when you're at home on Thanksgiving and the way you're touted around this league, you can't show a better effort than that than a team that's basically won 2 or 3 games. What's going on, bro?
Yeah. Want to let folks know you're going to be Ice. He has the background there. That's the reality of sports. It's his webpage, his sports webpage. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but check out the reality of sports. He's going to give you more details on that. Also, check out our bonus coverage at the end of our shows where we preview When Black Men Talk, which is on Spotify and Google. Make sure you put in BLK for Black. And we kind of tossed it up a little bit. We do that show featuring Mark Elliott. That's Black Thor over there.
Yes, sir.
Also, share, like, comment, share with your friends. Watch the whole video here. We're here every week, twice a week, talking sports and also making our NFL picks. Ice?
Can I throw one thing in there?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate Brother Black Thor mentioning that 30 million people watching that game. Just wanted to recognize that was the most watched game all season on that Thanksgiving. I think it was related that they should remove the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit from Thanksgiving. I think Dallas is good. I think they solidified their spot on Thanksgiving.
They have. They definitely have.
If you hate them or you love them, 30 million people to watch them get blown out. Dallas is going to be on that Thanksgiving game till the end of time. Detroit, 23 million and some change. But 30 million, that's the most people that ever watch football all season. So Dallas is good. Win, lose, and draw. They definitely drawing on Thanksgiving.
Maybe it's the 30 million haters of the Dallas Cowboys.
Could be. Hey, you heard what TB used to say. Floyd said, I don't give a care how you do it. As long as you watch, you love me or you hate me. Tune in.
That's a lot of heads. I got to admit, that's a lot of heads, man. I mean, I know it's Thanksgiving, but that's a lot. You figure sometimes the Super Bowl gets like 40 some odd million. That's a lot of heads for Thanksgiving, man, to sit down and watch a football game, bro. That's a lot.
I had my TV on, but I was asleep. I was full and I was so take my rating down. I ain't see the game.
Somebody did.
30 million people sleeping after turkey. That tryptophan. The picking order goes, Black goes first, followed by Ice, Pop, and I go last. Me and Pop have already put our picks in.
Set the tone, baby.
Let's go. We already started off the week great with Pittsburgh. We all picked Pittsburgh last week. They played today, so we all got a win. We start off the week with a win. The next game on tap is Detroit at Chicago. Black, who you got?
Detroit at Chicago. That's the key point there. The interim coach of Detroit, don't expect much out of him. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears with this one.
Oh man, I thought I had folks on that one. All right, Ice, who you got, man?
Yeah, I want to go with Detroit, but I just don't know. Chicago find a way because of the defense, and even if Trubisky gets in his own way, I think their defense is going to roll. So I might have to go with the Bears as well.
All right, we got 2 for Chicago. Pop is going with Detroit. I'm going with Chicago. Just talked to my boy Eddie. Like I said at the beginning of the show, he was like, don't pick Detroit until they get rid of the quarterback. And every time I went against them, I lost. So I got to go with Chicago, despite how they looked on Monday night. So I'm going with Chicago. So Pop is a lone wolf on that. Next game on tap is Cleveland versus Tennessee. Black, who you got?
Ooh, this game is in Tennessee.
Yes.
This is going to be a running melee, man, between the two. Because Cleveland has a pretty good running game, but I just don't see any team. I don't see Cleveland defense being able to stop the running back in the third or fourth quarter, man. Easy pick here, Tennessee. Plus, Tennessee has a receiver, man, no one talks about. That brother, when he catches, it's hard to take him down, bro.
Brown, yeah.
So, Yeah, between those two, yeah, Tennessee's getting themselves primed for a good playoff run, bro. Tennessee.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, the Browns have been showing up a little bit, but they struggled last week when it was warm. It's going to be cold, of course, this weekend. But the big issue for them is trying to pass the ball. For some reason, Baker Mayfield can't get it done. They've been really running the ball well with Chubb being back, but I don't know. I think Tennessee might be on the move. And the way that they played last week, I'm not sure if Cleveland, they've had some injuries too. I think they get the big fella back next the weekend defensive end. I'm trying to think of it, the top guy back, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. So I'm gonna choose Tennessee.
Okay. Papa's going with Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee also. Everything you guys said about Tennessee, I was going to say. So let's go to the next game. Next game is Indianapolis at Houston. Black, who you got?
This was a tough one here. This was a tough one. You would think that the Colts would bounce back, but I don't know. The Texans starting to show a little juice, man. I don't know what Romneo's feeding these guys, man. Defensively, they're starting to play better. The offense kind of always been clicking. And the Colts, man, to me, I think they still might be looking at wounds from last week. I'm going to take the Texans with this one.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, I can see where the coach might be looking at wounds, but that's a lot of wounds to be licking. So they got to get healed soon. Because, I mean, that was a thrashing, especially at home, too. And something about the Texans. They roll right a little bit, but they still struggle to move that ball offensively. Isn't Fuller, the wide receiver, out? He got suspended or he's out on
true.
He's out. Yeah.
PEDs, COVID or something, wherever he's going to be done for 5 games. I'm going to roll with that in mind. I'm going to roll with Indianapolis to rebound this week.
Yeah. Papa's going with Indianapolis. I am going with Indianapolis also. When I heard Fuller is out, and they don't really have too many receivers, I want to go with Houston. I really like Houston, and especially after the Colts got a thrashing last week. But I'm not sure if Watson has the weapons that could beat Houston with that defense over there, and they gotta suck it up. I know that defense has some pride. Rivers may throw a couple of interceptions with that Houston defense coming, whether or not those will be pick sixes or not. But it just seems like Houston just doesn't have the weapons. I got to go with Indianapolis on that one. Next game on tap is Jacksonville versus Miami. Black, who you got?
Miami barely kind of got it done last week, man. But I like Jacksonville, but this game's in Miami, correct?
No, I'm sorry, Minnesota. I apologize, Minnesota.
No problem, man. No problem.
I need a new prescription.
That's all right. That's all right. In Minnesota, I take it, right?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't think the running back for I'm gonna go Minnesota anyway. I don't think the running back for Minnesota is playing this week. I know he got hurt. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna take Minnesota. They kind of they stood up last week and played a lot actually. It's hard to believe Kirk Cousins gonna give you 2 good weeks of playing, but I'm gonna roll the dice, bro. I'll take the Vikes.
Yeah. Okay. Ice. Jacksonville. Minnesota.
Okay. Jacksonville has really played above their heads. You got to give them a lot of credit for that. But I think when it comes down to it, what Minnesota's going to do is have that round and pound game. The defense showed up a little bit. Field goal kicker trying to kick a little bit more. I think they had just enough to win that game. So I'm going to take Minnesota.
Okay. Papa's going with Minnesota also. Running back last week. I mean, he got pounded last week, and he was hurt. And but I still got to go with Minnesota over Jacksonville. Jacksonville plays really well, and they've been playing well in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but not well enough to win football games. So Minnesota's trying to make a run in their division, so I got to go with Minnesota. Next game on tap is New Orleans versus Atlanta. Black, who you got?
Man. Oh. I like Atlanta, but I'm going to take the Saints. I think the Saints defense is going to be enough to kind of do something here. I think the head coach has to go back and kind of come up with something a little different. And you beat a team that didn't have a quarterback, but they didn't look impressive to start that game. And they got to go on after a while, but they're not looking impressive. So they're going to have to kind of change offense up just a little bit. But I think they're going to bang Atlanta around enough to take on. I'll take New Orleans with this one.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Well, seems like Matt Ryan is showing the weapons. Well, last week he didn't have to because the team they played were their own worst enemy. They had 5 turnovers, so they just turned the ball over, and you just walked into the end zone or kicked field goals. But even though New Orleans is playing with a running back at quarterback, you don't have to do a lot. Their defense has risen to the occasion, and you got the old man, aka Malcolm Jenkins, former Buckeye, making noise over there with those guys. And I think they're going to get after Matt Ryan, and that's going to be enough. So I will be taking the Saints.
All right. Pop is also taking the Saints. I'm going to go with Atlanta one more week. I went with them last week against the Raiders. I'm going to go with them a week. Now that New Orleans is playing a game against a real quarterback instead of a wide receiver who was I can't hate on my man because he didn't have any reps in that Denver game. They didn't help him out at all. So I'm not going to even rag on him. But Denver just didn't have what it took on offense, and the defense pretty much had a day of rest. But they won't have a day of rest this week against the Atlanta offense.
Black Thor coming. You guys gave you one.
I like that. A quick tidbit, man. Are we ever going to see Jameis Winston suit up and play? That's the question, man, because if they keep winning with this quarterback, is he going to make it onto the field at any point?
You might see him this week, and you might see 2 or 3 interceptions this week, too.
I'll go with that.
I think that I think in the NFL they learn really quickly. They get game film on you. They figure out what you're doing, and I think they're going to figure out what Hill is doing, and they're going to get after him. And what they can't do is be afraid of tackling him and hitting him and putting him down. That's what they need. They need to get after Hill and make him make throws and not let him run because they got a lot of running quarterbacks in the NFL now, and people have learned how to really kind of play against those guys.
The one thing can I say just this too, is when you look at it, the one thing that really is hurting the situation over and offensively for New Orleans is taking the ball out of Kamara's hands because Kamara's not getting the touches he should be receiving. And when he throws the ball, he doesn't even look at the running backs. He's throwing strictly to Michael Thomas, and that really is killing the threat that Kamara is, and maybe that's why they might be thinking about trying to make a change.
Yeah. Next game on tap is Las Vegas versus the New York Jets. Black, who you got?
Wow. Like I said, man, Vegas, man, that was despicable. Mm-hmm. I can't believe they're gonna do that 2 weeks, even though they're playing the Jets. I'm gonna take the Vegas. I'm gonna close my eyes and take the Vegas with this one.
Nice, who you got?
I chose the Jets one time this year, and the game they should have won. Game they literally gave away and should have won. I will not make that mistake again, as bad as the Raiders may have been last week. So by default, it's kind of like certain things in a general election, presidential election. You got to take the lesser of 2 evils. I'm going to take the Raiders.
All right. Pop is going with the Raiders also. I'm going to go with the Raiders. They got embarrassed. And so if you have any pride, you're going to come back and even play better this game. And you got the quarterback Donald over there. True to form, throwing interceptions over there. You should get a couple. You should get a couple of turnovers that help you out. And eliminate your turnovers, Raiders, and your penalties. That seems to be the history of the Raiders. Reduce your penalties, and you can win some football games. Next thing I'm on tap is Cincinnati versus Miami. Black, who you got?
Miami easy, bro. I mean, Cincinnati, they're valiant what they're trying to do now, but Miami, they might be close for a short period of time. Miami going to find a way to take this one, the Dolphins.
All right, Ice, Cincinnati at Miami.
Yeah, if it was in Cincinnati, I might even look at that because that quarterback, the backup, has been trying a little bit and defense rising up, doing some things. But on the road, nah. And Miami is with Fitzpatrick, even if he plays, they're playing with a little swagger. And I think they'll get it done at home. So Miami.
All right, Pop is going with Miami. I'm going with Miami also with Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic. I didn't realize that Tua was hurt the previous week when he was taken out the game. They didn't report that, but he had a hurt thumb. I thought the coach was kind of messing up, just taking him out the game, just because he was having a bad game. But it came down to he was hurt. Next game on tap is the New York Giants versus Seattle. Black, who you got?
Let me just say this to start with, man. The Giants general manager should be fired. Fired. And I'm going to tell you why. How the hell you got Colt McCoy as your backup quarterback?
I didn't know Colt McCoy was playing.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. How? Colt McCoy? I was, had that game on Sunday. They had it on the Red Channel, or Red Zone Channel. He came off the bench. I'm like, who the fuck is Colt McCoy?
Catch him outside walking past the stadium. Here, come on.
Yes. And the thing about NFL announcers, they make anybody sound like Johnny Unitas when they take a hike. Oh, he's going to come out. He's going to do this. He's good for that. Seahawks, baby. Oh, man. Colt McCoy?
Did he play with Texas Ice?
Yeah, when you mentioned that name, I was like, I thought he was doing broadcasting down in Texas. Huh?
I thought he was broadcasting. I didn't even think he was in football.
Yeah, I thought he was a broadcaster at the University of Texas or something. But without that being said, yeah, we're going easily. That's going to go with Seattle. I think Metcalf may play a little quarterback this week.
They need to put Metcalf in the backfield so he can just run over folks, man. He doesn't even have to run over folks. They run into him and fall. I've never seen nothing like that in my time. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. It's like cartoonish, man. People just run into him and fall, man, like he's a statue. But Papa's going with Seattle, and I'm going with Seattle too. They're back home after, I think, a couple of weeks on the road. Next game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams versus Arizona. Black, who you got?
You said it well when you said this coach, the book is out on him, and he hasn't making any adjustments, any changes. The same old offense, which is not working, and this quarterback is not up to snuff. And I think they owe him guaranteed $88 million. I think for the next 4 years. That is absurd, bro.
We all
Arizona.
Golly.
That's a lot of money. For a quarterback that's playing that bad, that's a lot of money.
So who you going with?
Arizona, baby.
All right. Next, Ice.
Yeah, little man trying to get me again, boy. He's trying to get me again. Got me last week, and every time I choose him, he lose. When I don't choose him, he wins. So maybe I should just choose him to take off Black Thor.
Don't choose him. Don't choose him.
I said I want to choose him just to take off Black Thor. I cannot let him get close at all. Can't let him get close at all. But you know what? With that being said, I did find a stat that Arizona has never beaten the Rams coach at this point since they've been playing whatever. I think, or the Rams. So with that being said, I'm gonna choose the Rams. Yep, choose the Rams. There you go. No doubt. Look, you gave one up. I can give one.
Give Black a little hope.
Each week I'll do better.
Papa's going with the Los Angeles Rams, but I got to go with Arizona. Papa's going with the Rams. I'm going with Arizona. The streak has to end at some particular time, and what better time than right now? I got to go with Kyler Murray on this one because the Rams can generate enough offense to beat Arizona. So, and they play them. I always play them tough. So I got to give it to them this time. Next game on tap is Philadelphia versus Green Bay. Black, who you got?
Oh, this is quick and easy, baby. I know everybody in Philadelphia is calling for Jay to stand. I don't know if he's going to be much better at this point, bro. Because like you said a few nights ago, they don't allow him to throw the ball when the backup quarterback comes in from Oklahoma. He don't throw the ball, hurts. They just kind of give it to him, let him run. They should at least allow him to throw. But speaking of what I was saying about the other quarterback with the Rams, they were showing the other night where the quarterback for the Eagles, if they cut him, I think it's like 20-some-odd million against their cap.
A big-time contract. Yeah. Or before Foles left.
Yes. It's ridiculous, man. It's an easy pick with the Packers. The Packers are finesse. They're not playing a stone-cold defense. When they do, they cough it up a lot. But I'm going to take the Packers with this one.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, it just seems when you see Wentz drop back to pass and you think, maybe he can complete a pass, then it just goes into a bad shell. So that being said, I'm gonna select Green Bay.
Okay. Me and Pop are going with Green Bay, so it's Green Bay across the board. Green Bay, they look real great against certain teams, and then it just seems like with other teams, they just can't. I can't see them having a problem with the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's Green Bay across the board. Next game on tap is New England versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Black, who you got?
I mean, I would be tempted to take the Chargers in this game, but they just find a way to lose games, man. Chargers come up with an inventive way every week to lose games. And it's not, even though the Patriots won last week, and I took the Patriots beat the Cardinals, that was not an impressive win. It just wasn't, man. From no standpoint at all, did the Patriots look good, but I'm going to roll with them this week because I just don't trust Anthony Lynn and that that quarterback, the coaching department they put together, bro. They look like they have no clue what they're doing. And I feel sorry for him because he's probably going to get fired because that team is too talented to be losing games the way they do, bro, on both sides of the field. So I'm going to take the Patriots with this one.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, like I told you earlier in our last show that when they made that call, they called the timeout so they could punt, and it just bad. It was bad last week, and we know Belichick what he's capable of. Belichick opens the door. They've lost everybody. They lost Burkhead is on the IR now. You don't know who's playing week to week, wide receiver or whatever, but it does not matter. Somehow or another, Belichick finds a way to get those guys motivated. And the fact that they won that game last week against Arizona says a lot. So I think they're going to handle business as well. So I'm going to choose the Patriots.
Okay. Pop is going with the Los Angeles Chargers, and I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but I got to go with the Chargers on this one. I think that New England has enough. And even though I know that they're kind of discombobulated on the sidelines, and they lose close games, I got to think that the rookie quarterback will pull it out for them this particular game. I kind of go with who's the better quarterback. I feel at this particular time against these two particular teams, and I never thought I would be able to say it, but the rookie quarterback is better than Cam Newton at this particular time. So I'm gonna go with him.
Time out.
take a water break. Is that what you're trying to say? Or I'm drinking?
I'm talking about Anthony Lynn. You know what I'm talking about. Time out.
Yeah. All right. Next game on.
I hate to kind of double down on what you said about Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna be in the league next year, bro.
No.
And it's sad to think about where he was to where he's come to. And you look now, you don't want to kind of use hindsight, but when nobody was out there signing him, you're starting to see why. And it's the funny thing about it, fundamentally, Cam does not have a lot of good tape to go look at, bro. He just doesn't. And it's sad.
Well, remember when the receiver used to play for Carolina, Benjamin, kind of called him out in the Super saying that he can't make adjustments, and he can't. I think teams have figured that out, that he couldn't make adjustments. It's the same way with New England when they played in the Super Bowl against the Rams with that quarterback. They would wait until about 15 to 10 seconds and then change what they were doing at the line because they know he couldn't talk to the sidelines and make adjustments. So I think teams have figured out that Cam can't make adjustments. He can't really kind of throw the long ball with accuracy or the mid-range ball or the short passes with accuracy, and that he's running. He's running a lot more, which I don't think is at this particular point in his career is good for him. So I see the quarterback at not San Diego, but Los Angeles. He has all the tools as a rookie to do what he needs to do. He just needs some belief in the team. He needs some coaching to call some great plays. And sometimes I think as a player, sometimes you got to put it on your own back and really kind of will your team to win. And I can see that quarterback doing it other than Cam at this particular point. Next game on tap, Black Thor's favorite team, Denver at Kansas City. Who you got, man?
Wow, man. Woo. Yeah, this game might get ugly real fast, but Kansas City. This might get ugly real fast. Kansas City. Yeah, I can't
worried. I thought you were gonna pick Denver again. You had me worried.
It's gonna get ugly, man. It's amazing how I was watching something. They said that Patrick Mahomes has been a little inconsistent. When I'm trying to figure out. That's what I said. These comments, things they come out and they say, man, and they have the nerve to say right now, Aaron Rodgers is leading MVP. When that happened? When Aaron Rodgers ain't even leaked in the MVP race? But I'm sorry, that's just me. What's this thing they use to call for the rating? The PBX, whatever that they all kind of use. Somebody must be screwing somebody with that one real good because the ratios they come up with is absolutely stupid.
Black Thor has spoken. Ice Water, who you got?
Yeah, I think them Denver quarterbacks are healthy this week. Not like that's gonna make a major difference, but when you look at it, I do find it ironic though, or crazy even. There, some of the commentators in the media are so desperate to say something negative about Patrick Mahomes or somebody that's really successful, but they'll say, "Well, he's not on par with what he did last year. It was a special season last year." It's like when Tom Brady threw all those touchdowns when he played with Randy Moss. Well, he's not on par with that great season. Sometimes that comes around once a year, right? I mean, once every blue moon. And if you win the Super Bowl, maybe not, but that still doesn't mean it's not a good football player. But sometimes those comments just kind of blow me away. But you don't have to worry about it this week. Kansas City has so many weapons. I think Sammy Watkins is coming back. He hasn't been there in about 8 years. He just kind of pops up. They get ready for the postseason. And then they're going to start using Le'Veon Bell. So, yeah, easily Kansas City. They're starting to fine-tune their team right now as they decide who they might want to repeat and play in the Super Bowl.
That's typical Sammy. That's typical Sammy. He only played like 3 games out this season anyway.
Those games are what they need, though.
Hey, like he said, look, I tried to play in Buffalo. They didn't want me. So I had to come win the ring.
Papa's going with Kansas City. Didn't Mahomes throw he had 360-something yards at halftime?
Something like that. But it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
So hot dogs and popcorn to the fans who do come to the game, who they do let in. I don't understand it, man. I mean, he's doing all he can. Maybe because he made all that money, and maybe a black man making all that money ain't worth it.
They're not going to be satisfied until he sells sweatbands online.
Well,
and sign up.
I would say they wouldn't say that about Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or any other white quarterbacks. It's kind of funny to me that he's inconsistent. Their team only lost 1 game this year. He throws for almost damn near 400 yards, almost 500 yards in a game, and he's inconsistent. I don't get it.
You might be onto something about the black quarterback, bro, because it does really make you wonder. Because I heard somebody say today, well, he's up against his own stats, and that could very well be true. But like I say, you can't expect him to dazzle you. They're 10-1, bro. The Chiefs are 10, and it's almost like when they're ready to play, they push a button, and that offense just automatically comes. Yeah, it almost seems that way. They push a button, and what you got for Hill? What you got? I mean, realistically.
It's like it's like an Xbox game where you get the power button, where you give the extra power.
Nitro.
Nitro. I don't even know why they even kept that quarterback. I think Davis on him. I'm like, they need to take him out the game. They just need to take him out the game. And then the commentator in the game said, whoever has Tyreek Hill in their fantasy football league, this was going towards halftime. He said, it's over. You won. You won already. It's pretty much over. You won that for that week. Because I think he had 13 catches for almost 300 yards.
Yeah.
And there was a quarterback thrown into him that, I don't know. Maybe he didn't.
And then they'll come back. They'll come back like 3 weeks later and go, well, Kelsey hasn't caught a pass in 3 weeks. Let's throw him the ball. Let's feature him this week.
I don't get it. And that's why a lot of the times what I'm doing, guys, is I'll put my music on and I'll just watch the game. Because sometimes it's like when you say, I'll give you 3 strikes when I'm watching a game. Say 3 stupid things, I just say strike 3, and just yank you, put the music on, just watch the game.
I'm gonna tell you, man. You may not want to hear it, but this is why he's making the dollars. Tony Romo brings it when it comes down to sports commentating, bro.
I have to admit that. I do.
Yeah, he brings it. Tony does bring it, man. I'm with you now with Trey Aikman. Trey Aikman go. Another guy to me that brings it that doesn't get the recognition. A lot of people don't like. Chris Collinsworth is another one.
Yeah.
I look. Chris he'll give it to you straight. He's not playing around. He ain't trying to blow a lot of smoke up you. If it's strange or something bizarre, he's gonna tell you. But those two, the rest of them, you're right. I could put something on and listen, but But it's just they're just saying some things like, "Are you kidding me?" And a lot of times they insult your intelligence, like you never watched the game before. Are you serious?
Yeah. Reddick, I have to give. I like Reddick too. I like Reddick with Monday Night Football. Compared to Booger last year and him and what he brings, I like it.
Yeah.
Next game on tap is Washington versus Pittsburgh. This may be a letdown game. Pittsburgh just played Wednesday. They're playing again this soon. But let's see what Black goes with. Black?
Pittsburgh can play Friday and still win this game, bro. I'm taking the Steelers.
All righty. Ice, who you got?
Actually, he's right. They could play Saturday night and still win the game Sunday afternoon. Seriously.
So you believe in the Washington football team?
No, because let's be real. I mean, I watched the game today, and you know, you had the young guy for Pittsburgh, and they're just clicking on all cylinders. They're playing hard. They're playing really hard, and it's not pretty. I think they're trying to prove to everybody that they're worthwhile. I don't know how far they're going to go, but yeah, it doesn't tell you. They're a well-oiled machine right now, and everybody's fired up for each game that they play.
I was talking to Pop about this game after the game, and he was like, Pittsburgh needs to tighten up. They won't go any farther. And I kind of agree with it, but this is how they've been winning games all year. They've just been grinding it out all year. This is against a rival, even though you had RG3 out there and another backup quarterback. But they still need to tighten it up to win more impressively, even though it was a rivalry game. He's going with Pittsburgh, and I'm going with Pittsburgh. Yes, Black.
Sorry, I jumped in a little too soon, but quick question. I mean, what happened to RG3, bro? I mean, are we ready to call him a bust? Or, I mean, realistically, because this guy, I remember the year he played, he had the best play action going that you could have. And you look at him now, it's like, and I know he hasn't played in a while, but you figure, I think they said he won the Heisman Trophy, or he came in, was Rookie of the Year 2011. 9 years later, he has done nothing in the NFL, bro.
Yeah, it's sad. I thought he was going to really be something great in the NFL. And we were talking about him changing the landscape of black quarterbacks, but it wasn't him, it were other quarterbacks. But when him coming out of Baylor, man, you couldn't tell me he wouldn't be successful in the NFL.
Yes.
Basically, watching them games while he was in college, you couldn't tell me that he wasn't going to just show out in the NFL. Next game on tap is Buffalo at San Francisco. Who you got, Black?
It's going to be a good one here. Yeah, San Francisco's starting to creep back in, and as long as Jimmy Garoppolo's not playing, if he does, I might want to change my pick. I'm taking San Francisco.
Here we go. COVID. We hear COVID report Friday night on San Francisco quarterbacks.
I thought the funny thing was, man, when you text back that Mike Tyson laughing, I couldn't stop laughing. That one, I gotta admit, that one, I was like, I came arguing after seeing that.
So you go with Buffalo?
Oh, man, 49ers, man.
49ers. All right.
Well, Jimmy's not playing. 49ers winning this one, baby.
Okay. We'll get text Sunday.
49ers, baby.
Look, wait a minute. Are you sure? Look.
Here's the caveat. No Garoppolo, 49ers.
No, we don't want you coming back next week talking about it. I can't believe that such an establishment as this refused to let me change my pick.
Why does San Francisco even have to play the game? Yeah, no.
I want to clarify.
It's your pick.
It's my pick. No Garoppolo, 49ers.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Damn sure ain't the 49ers. But no, Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo is coming around, trying to come around. San Francisco rolls up against a very bad Rams team. I think just that the teams going back and forth with their rivalry. I think that says a lot. But nah, I think Buffalo is due. They're overdue. Play a little defense, and once their quarterback, if he gets out of his own way, I think they can make some things happen. So I think it might be a shootout, but I still think Buffalo has a way of winning ugly. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Okay.
Bro, if you don't mind me jumping in 1 second and break some news, we like to break news here at Coon Squad.
Go ahead.
They're saying that the Rockets and the Wizards have made a deal. They sent Westbrook to the Rockets for John Wall and a first-round pick.
You gotta think about that.
Outstanding. I love it because now you quit. You're going as bad as he is, and as much as he wants to be a gang member, allegedly, whatever he's doing. No longer are you going to be able to blame John Wall for what's going on in Washington. It's all Bill and Westbrook, and everybody can live happily ever after. I love it because I'm so tired of blaming one dude. We're going to find out if John Wall is a bad apple and he's horrible and whatever. And I know you talk about not paying up to his ability because of the check and all that. We're going to finally see what's going on because now you're separating them. I hope that comes to fruition.
So
I really do.
John Wall, James Harden, and Boogie Cousins.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this, man. I think from between Westbrook to Wall, I think it's an upgrade. I am gonna say that, man. Westbrook can't get his own points, bro. He just can't. If he ain't flying down the court 100 miles per hour, John Wall, if it's need to, he can get his own points, bro. He can. He can definitely penetrate, get his own. So they got the better of this deal.
And he wants to win. John Wall wants to win. I'm not saying Westbrook doesn't want to win. Westbrook needs to be the man. And I want to see what's going to happen. Now you in Washington. You think Bradley Beal's is going to go, oh, yeah, come on over. Let me slide over here. I just finished sliding over. They made me the man. Now you want me to slide over again? Now that I want to, y'all, you pointing fingers at John Wall. Let's find out what the hell you going to do with Westbrook. Because you know when he get his mind made up, even Durant told you, you can't tell him nothing. He shoot. If Durant tell you that, Durant is one of the most prolific scorers in basketball today. And when that man says, you can't tell Westbrook anything, he got the ball, he's shooting. He like World Be Free back in the day.
Oh.
If it's in his hands, it's gone.
The World Be Free could shoot.
But it's the attitude, though. It's still the attitude. He believes, he's already said he wants to be the man. How you going to be the man in Washington? It's the same thing, even worse than you had with John Wall. At least John Wall was hurt.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about this in the bonus stuff. But the last game is, this is going to be an interesting game. Dallas versus Baltimore. Like what you got?
Ooh, this is Sunday, huh? Man.
No, I think, is this Thursday? Or
Tuesday. They play Tuesday.
Okay,
they
Tuesday.
Wow. Yeah, you making that ugly face. Like,
yeah, because I can't see Baltimore. Even if the quarterback should be back next week.
Right.
Oh man. And it's in Dallas or Baltimore?
It's in Baltimore.
Baltimore, bro. Yeah, because Dallas, they got a quarterback that's playing now that's real skittish. And I don't trust the Cowboys, especially if they got to travel. If the quarterback is back, they get the running backs in Baltimore. Baltimore will find a way to grind this one. I don't take the win. I'm going to take the Ravens.
All right. All right, so you got.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton, I thought he was going to be all right, but you put a little pressure on that offensive line, and they fold like a tent. So Baltimore is going to be a little angry because of what happened with Pittsburgh. And, if Jackson, I think he will be able to play. If he does play, it's just the bad thing that happens for Dallas. Our defense cannot stop anybody running, and they damn sure can't stop a running quarterback. So, yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah. Papa's going with Baltimore also. I got to go with Baltimore with this. Also, is RG3 hurt too? Because he kept limping today. Like
He
pulled
pulled his hamstring or something. He was doing all right too. He just coming
they
around.
were all right. They were in it, but then when he got hurt, it was like, oh boy.
Yeah, he was a sitting duck. He tried. He. I'm gonna say this. If you go back and watch the game later in probably was third, I think it might have been the fourth quarter. He made a run, probably like 30-some yards, and it was impressive. He moved and he went real quick. He got a first down. He got up, did everything like that. And I think since he hasn't played in a long time, he might have pulled a hand. I'm serious. It was probably the longest play that he's made in years, like 36 yards. And then he was like, all right, cool. Then he came back and made another move. He got happy, tried to make it come to the side, and he started hopping. I was like, oh, see? Got to do them hands, got to stretch, bro.
Yeah. All right, it's Baltimore across the board. Those are our picks. We'll be posting them up on our Twitter. Follow us at Goon Squad Sports on Twitter. We post all our results and our picks weekly there. I do it on my personal Instagram account, D. Maurice Waddell. And we also do it on the Facebook page, Goon Squad Sports.
Yeah, another one. Every year, Chargers do the same thing. They'll start when the first 2 games, then they're going on a 7-game losing streak. Every year.
They might win like 4 or 5 games in a row.
Yes.
Season off undefeated, and they just what happened? Like the bottom.
Every year. No matter who's coaching, who's quarterbacking.
That's why I'm afraid of Buffalo too. Buffalo's like that. Buffalo before, well, they've been snake bitten in the Super Bowl, but
yeah,
Buffalo is like that. They go like 6, 7 in a row, and then all of a sudden, bam, they just hit.
Yeah, I can't see them doing much this year.
Yeah, I think just some organizations are snake bitten, man. They just snake
bitten. I agree.
Snake bitten, and Detroit is one of them. I just got off the phone with Ed. Ed was like, whatever you do, don't pick Detroit until they get rid of their quarterback. They should go with Chicago.
I'm gonna say this, man. He was talking about the other day about coaching. You know, I think about the enemy. Jacksonville is not a bad place to go, bro. I know people are gonna say, "What do you mean?" They got some talent on that team. They can get a quarterback. You know, they got some talent.
I need a running back, bro. I need a running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
outside of Houston and that, stay in KC, bro. Don't come out this year.
His contract's not up, right?
Huh?
His contract is not up, is it?
Who's that?
Yeah,
it's always up, though. Come on, man. Head coach.
Oh yeah, if somebody wants him, they'll let him go.
Yeah, Eddie Reed will never fight that. I mean, you've been waiting too long. That's what they want.
Yeah, if my contract wasn't up with him, I'd wait.
Other than the Texans, bro. I'm serious. Other than the Texans, with with Watson, don't go anywhere else.
But eight possibilities, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. I don't know if it's gonna ever be that many ever again. And I know the right situation is right, but I don't know.
I will say this too, man. The quarterback for the LA Chargers, he's the truth. I might consider him too. That rookie.
Yeah, because they have a lot of hurt players.
Huh?
They have a lot of hurt players that are coming back next year.
Yeah. It might be a team to kind of keep an eye on.
With the right coach, though, it got to be the right. I mean, the right far as the right other the general manager, see what they're gonna do, and you got to make the right decision with the right staff. You know, you go to the Texans, though. I'm telling you, I've been saying that since day one. Deshaun Watson, and imagine Deshaun Watson, and they had Bieniemy, and they still had Hopkins. Woo! And you get a running back. Oh my goodness! You know, at one time they had Carlos Hyde down there, right?
Yeah.
See what he doing in Seattle.
Man, what happened to who was the running back that used to play quarterback for Ohio State? Whatever happened to him?
Braxton Miller.
Yeah, because he used to be coming out the backfield too.
Yeah. He's bounced around a little bit. He's been on a couple practice squads. So the factor that he still wants, I mean, he's playing wide receiver. It's hard, man. He's a very talented athlete still. He can still play in the league. But I think, to me, if a guy like that can't play, or it took a guy like Curtis Samuel, who also came from Ohio State, took him a while to start to get his feet under him, if you will, that it tells you that the league is not easy, man. You got to put work in. There's a lot of good football players that never really get a chance to play on that next level.
Do you think he did himself a disservice with compromising and playing running back instead of playing quarterback when he came out of college?
A lot of people say that, but truthfully, I think the problem was the injury he had with his shoulder really affected the way he threw the ball. I mean, as a quarterback, you're right. He could throw some pepper on it. He had the ability to do it. But I think at the time he was just like, you know what? I'm never gonna be the quarterback that I was because of the shoulder injury. But I still had a skill set as far as running, and I can make plays as a wide receiver. So I think that's why he did what he did.
I want to give some shouts out to Ice Water there. I love the background with the reality of sports. Talk to the people about reality of sports and what they expect to see there.
Yeah, really been working on this for a little bit, kind of slacked off a little bit, but now we're back. Reality sports really was just about coming up with an idea, the concept of providing sports fans with the truth, telling you something a little different. And man, you don't always have to enjoy or like exactly what you read, but we just want you to think, and that's what it's all about. Because we have our very own Puma has served as a special guest, written a couple articles, and we hope to have more. Black Thor, you also welcome, brothers. You feel inclined, you want to throw a little something together of your own, own writing, you can put that down. But it's really just about bringing people together and letting people see something different. And that's what this really was all about. Because having covered different sports over the years, I always wonder, how come we don't see this? Or if something you really want to say, then just say it. And as I told Puma before, we've had some discussions, and he says, well, man, I don't know if you're going to like it. I said, look, it's not about me liking it. It's about you saying what you want to say, and it comes along the right way. That's all I care about. And I think sometimes we miss a lot of different things like that. So that's what it's really all about, creating opportunities and doing something different. And sometimes when you don't see what you like in sports, I always felt then you should do something about it. And being a journalist or a former journalist, that's what I decided to do. And now I'm just trying to use it as a place where we can just share and do other things, and especially help some of the younger aspiring journalists come up and do some things. And plus, it's the other thing too, where I was a journalist for so long that had all these photos I take in and different things that was just collecting dust on flash drives. So I was like, you know what? I need to just release this and share it with the world so people can see what was going on and just kind of see it from a different perspective. So that's what it's really all about from that thing too as well.
One of the things I was excited about when you did this is for the young journalists coming up. And we always complain about journalists not being the same or not coming with it and coming with the truth and writing about sports. So I'm glad that you are mentoring them and getting them to really do what they're supposed to do the way we learned it. And they got a great mentor in you.
Thank you, man. Like I said, we want to just keep doing it, and more than anything, if we keep moving the needle and keep pushing it along, one thing I really want to do, and because it helped me, working for an African American newspaper back in the day when nobody else would give me a shot, I want to be able to produce and then let these young folks really get their feet wet, but also get their feet wet being able to attend events. Because there's nothing like that. I mean, you can talk about writing, you can say, oh yeah, I'm on a website, but when you actually go and cover an event and you're sitting right in the media section, you're close to the action where everybody else wants to be, I think there's nothing like that when you're a journalist to feel that you've made it from that standpoint. And that's what we want to provide, that experience for them so they have a great appreciation that they belong there. Not only that, but then also the factor that, this is what I want to do, and there's a reason why I'm here.
Yeah, and that energy that you feel when you're at those events, that gives you that extra, that creative kind of license to kind of express what you felt, what was the crowd feeling, and that energy that was taking place in that event. Black, we want to talk about when black men talk.
Hey man, it's funny because I stop sometimes. I think about it. We haven't many things we haven't touched on, so sometimes I fight to find some things. But we're going to kind of pay tribute in the next coming weeks to good women. We haven't really talked about what is a good one. We'll look for one. If we have one, we know it. We don't have one, we know it. Talk about grace, baby. We're going to talk about grace when what it kind of really means to us. You know, where would we be without it? Spend a little time at that. And in a sense, talk about family in a sense. A lot of times we highlight our family in a good way, but we're going to talk about family just sometimes, some nuances and the quirky stuff about our families that we just wonder, how do you know?
What do you have in mind when you talk about the quirky stuff in family? Because a number of stuff come to my mind.
Well, I kind of give you a quick little preview example. My sister that passed recently. I don't, my family of five, all brothers and no one else kind of really reached out to other than I, and had a relationship with other than myself. So in a sense, I look at that sometimes, and I look at it over the years, and all four of them are devoted church-going folks. Where you don't find me in the church that often. You just don't, for different reasons. So you would think that my heart would have been more colder to her than they were. How is my heart open and available? And you're hearing the word much more than I probably ever will hear in my lifetime, but they could not open up and accept her as being one of their own. Mm-hmm. So, and that type of nuance, just things that some things that happen that makes you kind of think about and go, okay. And then, my two brothers, they live a life totally different than the way I do, the way they handle the women in their lives. Wimps, I'm sorry, beat down, whatever. But it's also like, sometimes you stop and go, did we come from the same wombs?
So I can't believe you came out of the same loins. Wow. Yeah, because I think of a number of things that are quirky and how I kind of handle business. I'm in Chicago, and I'm pretty much the only family I have here is my son and daughter, and I'm kind of off away from the family. And there was a reason why I did that. And I remember there was one time where I was talking to you a long time ago about maybe I should come back to the East Coast, and and you're like, nah, stay where you are. You're doing good. Stay where you are.
Sir, you heed the advice, but look at you now.
That was a while. You're like, nah, you're doing good. Stay here. And sometimes you get homesick, but then when you're around, you visit, and you go, oh, okay, I got it now. I got. Well, I'm supposed to be over here.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong. I love my family, love them, and but they're if you get wound up in their lives, it takes away from what you're trying to do, and then you get caught up in the drama. And a lot of people look at me and they'll meet me and go, "Man, you look so young." It's like I try to live a drama-free life.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't like to be around a lot of stress, and I know I get that from my dad. Dad does not like stress around his life. So any stress, he got his TV, he got stuff he needs to do, he want to do. He'll just surround himself with that and stay away from the stress. As soon as it starts coming, okay, I gotta go, and he leaves. And I got that honest from him. I just don't like to be around a lot of stress, not a lot of confusion, stuff like that. And I can go to bed at night and sleep, and get good night's sleep and rest, and thank God no health problems, things of that sort, because I saw how the generation before me, how it really deteriorated their health and their attitudes and things of that sort. And I was like, nah, there's no way I want to live like that. And that was one of the reasons why I know I talked to you guys about this during your show, is why I got a divorce. And I saw all the older men in our families, and they stayed in marriages they did not want to be in. And it just made them really, really kind of just stressed and irritable and cranky. And I'm like, man, I can't be that example for my children. So I want them to see the best of me, and I want them to see me happy. And if I'm not bringing happiness to your life, then and you're not bringing it to my life, why are we going to sit here for 20-something years till the kids go away, and then we go try to give that grumpiness to somebody else after we leave? It just didn't make sense. Ice, any quirky things about your family that you thought about?
Man.
Ice, we can wait till you start. Go ahead, Ice.
mean, it's like anybody else. It depends on what side it's on or whatever. But what's funny is certain things where you think that, let's say, for instance, I mean, both of you gentlemen have, we've done well, decent enough in life where we kind of made our own way, right? We're blessed to do that. Go to work every day, or you made your own way. You had experienced some success. But you get to a point where you have a conversation and you're like, hey, cuz, what's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while. And then all of a sudden it come up and goes, so, yo, man, I got some things going on. I was like, why don't you think you can buy me a TV? And you like, what? Like, hold up, dog. I mean, you just out the blue. You're like, man, my TV is messing up. And you like, TV? I'm like, I mean, and it's one of the things that I normally, if you have like the whatever situation, I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. But it's just those things. You have a good time. You might be talking for an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, you think you could or whatever? And I'm like, what? And then it's like, well, you probably, what if you making more money than me? Your fixed income might be more than I'm making right now, right? Because you don't know my situation. But you just think in your mind that I just, I'm rolling. I'm like, dude, I'm over here working my ass off. And if I did have extra, you want me to buy you a TV? And you said, look, man, I'm hungry or whatever, right? I got you. But you like, look, man, my TV going out. What? And I'm like, damn, didn't they just have those on sale for $88 for on the Black Friday or something? You could have rolled down there and get there. And then too, the other part of it is how people spend their money. It's like you spend all your money on frivolous things, and now you want me to come to the rescue. Nah, bruh. And things like that bother me. And I think that I'm with you, Puma, when you mentioned about the stress. I learned that from my dad as well. My dad was like, you know what? Nah, I like to be around people that are, not saying you got to be laughing all the time, but I like people that you have to even laugh at some of the comedy of the madness that's going on. And if you can't, when you stay in it, then it's just even worse and worse. And which is the reason why I'm not, I never moved back home. I wanted to, but when you get caught up in other people's drama, then it's supposed to become your emergency. It becomes a long, bad thing. And plus two, your mental psyche, bruh. I mean, I like peace. I like to do what I need to do. You might find it corny, right? You might think it's boring, but I need to have a place where I can just kind of come out and go, I'm doing this because this is good for me. And I think everybody should have that. No matter who you are or whatever your situation is, you should have things that are just good for you. And then, like I had a cousin and I love her to death. We done had all kind of warnings in the state of Ohio, all across America about COVID, right? And our particular county is is purple on the map. And purple here is like all chaos is happening, right? It's mean stay your ass in the house, basically what they're saying, unless you have to go out. It's like that. That's what it is here and then at home. It just happened at home. But they got together, my cousin and some of our family members. I thought it was gonna be like, it's gonna be about a few people, like I think it might be 8 people. There's probably about 25 people at our house, man. Came from all over the country. And I was like, well, who's there? Oh, such came from Alabama. What? You all bringing this together. This COVID thing is real. I love y'all. But she was nice. I'm gonna give her love because that's my cousin. She made sure somebody was coming back to Columbus and dropped her brother off a plate. So I was cool with that. But I damn sure wasn't driving down there to get it in the COVID. I had my gloves on and my mask. Thank you, cuz.
Hey man, that's. I'm glad that's what we do, bro. Us just what we share is real talk. That's another thing I'm gonna drop out, man, because we all don't want it in our lives. We despise it, but there's always drama somewhere, and some people are attracted to it, and that's gonna kind of be the angle I want you to. Why are people attracted to drama in their lives and not happy? Yeah. Not happy unless there's some drama going on. It's amazing, that is so.
Yeah, that's just a preview. We talk about a lot more. We get deep. We get deep on When Black Men Talk, featuring Mark Elliott. His voice is much deeper during the show.
I have this machine I talk into.
like Roger Troutman.
And if you are a female and want to be a guest on the show, there might be some room for you. I'm just saying. That's what I heard from the host.
I'm just saying.
He'll put us out. He'll put us out in the middle.
Don't want to be a guest on the show. I should give you a special backstage pass.
Might be you. Hey, why you clowning? Might be one of your next sponsors. Anyway.
That's how Ice roll. You can get backstage with Ice anytime.
Hey, Puma, might be one of your next sponsors. Did you hear me? BLK. Look. I think. Look, if you nice, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get you a graphic so you can go behind you. BLK.
Yeah, get a graphic. We'll be the next.
Look, from your
I want the roll. BLK roll.
Yeah, BLK. Nick, the next Burger King sandwich.
They have a BLK. They have a BLK with a little robe on the back of it.
And an Escort. I tell you, the brother's royalty. He's royalty.
Yes.
I got to do this because it's been on my mind. We were talking about women in baseball, and I've gotten this woman's name wrong every time. I keep calling her Fernandez, but it's Jessica Mendoza, who does ESPN baseball. None of you brothers call me on it, but I was online today, and I'm like, man, I've been saying this sister's name wrong all this time, but it's Jessica Mendoza. So I want to apologize.
I see the picture of her. I never knew her name, bro, so I can't. I see the picture. She's fine, but I didn't know that.
Look. I'm with you. I didn't. I'm sorry. I really don't watch that show, but I did notice her.
Yeah,
so
and I was thinking of Fernandez because they used to be a softball player. She comes from a softball background.
Okay.
And she was a softball player who was a pitcher named Fernandez that I really like. He was a great pitcher in the Women's World Series or the college championships. That I kind of put them together, and so yeah,
this
to my head, to my heart.
I'm gonna say squarely falls on you, man. Being the baseball historian that you are, my brother.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about she was connected with might have been the daughter of Manny Fernandez or something like that.
No, I felt bad about that when I was looking at stuff today. I'm like, oh man, I've been calling this sister's name wrong all this time. So yeah, I gotta.
But it happens, man. Like you say, Mama called him Clay, I call him Clay.
Yeah.
Hey, Puma blowing up, man. I'm trying to. Puma got doing book club shows and everything.
I gotta thank you for that. I gotta set that up. I gotta thank you for that.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit nervous of what they're gonna ask me and how they're gonna interrogate me though.
Nah, man. So Black Thor, I have a friend and she they have a book club, right?
Okay. And
I asked her, I said, so, you know, what books y'all read? She said, I read almost anything. And I described Puma's book. And she's like, yeah, we read almost anything. And I was like, well, you need to check this out. This is a hell of a book. And she sent me a note saying with the pictures, they were at the book club and sent me a picture of the book, how they were, you know, getting into it, had read it and was breaking it down.
Nice.
And I was like, sweet. And then she sent me a note. She says, would the author be available for, you know, a consultation, you know, to be able to talk about the book? And first she asked me, was he in Ohio? And I said, no. I said, but you know what? She said, well, will he do a Zoom? I said, yeah, I think he'll do a Zoom. Let me check with him. And I hit him up and said, hey, what you think? He's like, yeah. I said, dude, you know, if somebody likes your work and they buy your book, I mean, damn,
bro. Yes, sir.
They buy the book. They went out and they were like, yeah, they talk about it. They loved it. And they sharing the book with sending pages to other people. They into it. I'm like, what was he thinking here? So
that's the advertisement right there, dog.
Yeah, she sent me a note of one of the passages from one of his pieces, right? And I was reading it to him, And he said, damn, I wrote that?
Every now and then, man, this is the honest to God truth, man. When that happens, I like to see it. But every now and then, man, I swear sometimes I'll be walking around, I'll be thinking, and I was like, your love book about crazy, you can't love crazy?
Yeah.
Like, well, why not?
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, crazy is attractive, man. Crazy is like, oh, I gotta have this just for a little bit.
Yes.
It just latch on to you. Can't. It won't let you go. It ain't fun no more.
I want to stop.
Well, you play too much. Yeah, you can't shake it.
I almost told him, I said, you know, they call him the love doctor. You need to be reading that other book he got out. He wrote other books. I was like, oh yeah. But they're not gonna talk about that one just yet. So I'm not gonna push you right into it.
Yeah, you were reading that the other night. I'm like, I wrote that? I was like, wow.
Good stuff right there, baby. Good stuff.
Wow. I'm like, yeah. And then it made me think about where I was at that particular time. I was during a breakup. Yeah. Okay. And just getting out of it. So